Hi everyone, this is Fen Lee, designer here at the Bead Flower Studio. One of the most common questions that I get asked is what wire to use for making French beaded flowers. In this video, I will go over the wires that I like to use, brands I like, and where to buy them. For French beaded flowers, I recommend using copper core wire. Copper wire is usually coated with color, so you can have a variety of colors to match your beads. Depending on the flower part, I use 32, 30, 28, 26, 24, and 22 gauge wires. Most petals and leaves are made with 24 gauge wire, so when you are ordering wires, this is the gauge you should buy the majority of. If you are working on beginner projects, chances are you can get away with just using a 24 gauge wire for most projects. If you're on a budget and can't get all the colors, you can get silver and it will work with most bead colors. I would recommend getting 24 gauge silver and green at a minimum. Of course, if you like to match the beads to the wire colors, you can get a rainbow of wire colors. There are mainly 3 brands of wire that I use here in the US. Artistic Wire by Beadalon at beadalon.com, Pear Wire at pearwire.com, and Zebra Wire by Fire Mountain Gems at firemountaingems.com. Fire Mountain Gems will ship internationally. If you're in the UK, you can get Scientific Wire. Artistic Wire and Pear Wire are very similar in quality. I have not used Scientific Wire, but I've been told by fellow beaders that they are similar in quality as Artistic and Pear Wire. Now, as far as Zebra Wire, I recommend to stay away from the silver and the gold wire. The regular colored wires are okay to use. The silver will discolor your hands, and the gold is actually made of brass and not copper, so it's harder to use. But like I said, the color wires from Zebra Wire works great. They are more affordable than the other brands, but the only downside is that there are very limited colors. If you are in the US, Joann Fabrics has a small selection of copper wires. They don't really have a selection of 24 gauge wires, but usually have 22, 26, and 28 gauge wires. Those are the gauges of wire that I don't have on hand as much as the 24 gauges. So when I'm in a pinch, I'll drop by and pick some up. They are not as easy to use because they are not on the spool, and unrolling them can be a pain sometimes. And here are some of the wires that I've used in the past that I no longer use. The first is galvanized steel wire. Galvanized steel wire is not as soft as copper wire, so if you are using 24 gauge galvanized steel wire, that is comparable to 22 gauge copper core wire. The petals will be a lot stronger, but the wires do tarnish over time and your fingers can be discolored from handling the wire. The second is petal wire from the florist section of the craft store. They don't have much of a variety of colors. You can get 26 gauge silver, green, and sometimes you can find white. Because they're steel wire, it's comparable to 24 gauge copper core wire. And don't even think about using 22 gauge paddle wire because they'll be too thick for the beads to go through. The silver paddle wire will tarnish over time, but I did love using green paddle wire because it doesn't tarnish and stands the test of time. My bead leaves from 18 years ago using the green paddle wire still look great. But I don't like using the green paddle wire anymore because the quality of green paddle wire are just not that great anymore. They will stain your fingers green when using them. And I also love using white paddle wire. It also stands the test of time. The flowers I've made using white paddle wire still look great. The only problem is that the paint comes off where the wire bends. But generally, you don't really see it and it's not a big deal. And you won't get the staining from the white wire either. But I'm just spoiled from using the copper core wire that I do not like the feel of paddle wire anymore. But if you don't mind the staining or the small chips in the green and the white paddle wire, they are a great budget-friendly way to start making beaded flowers. If you are following patterns from vintage books from around the 1960s, they are usually using 26 gauge galvanized steel wire. So if a pattern calls for a 26 gauge wire, use 24 gauge copper core wire. I hope this has helped those with the what wire should I buy question. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to be notified of when I upload new videos. Drop me a comment and let me know what kind of videos you'd like to see. If you've made any of my designs, I always love seeing them. Connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, and my website at beadfloor.com. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.